On the night of July 16, 1918, in the remote city of Ekaterinburg, Siberia, a chilling act of political violence brought an abrupt and brutal end to over 3 centuries of Romanov rule in Russia. Tsar Nicholas II, his wife Empress Alexandra, their 4 daughters, Olga, Tatiana, Maria, and Anastasia, and their ailing son, Alexei, were awakened in the early hours and led to the cellar of the Ipatiev house, the residence where they had been held captive for months. They were told they were being moved for their safety, but a far more sinister fate awaited them. The decision to execute the Romanovs was made by the Bolshevik leadership, primarily Vladimir Lenin, who feared that the advancing White Army, loyal to the Tsar, might liberate the imperial family and use them as a rallying point against the new Soviet regime. The Bolsheviks, having overthrown the monarchy, saw the Romanovs as a dangerous symbol of the old order that needed to be eradicated. The execution was carried out by a firing squad led by Yakov Yurovsky, commandant of the Ipatiev house. The family and their loyal servants, who had voluntarily accompanied them into exile, were lined up against a wall. The execution was chaotic and brutal. The initial volley of gunfire did not kill everyone instantly, partly due to jewels sewn into the clothing of the Grand Duchesses, which acted as makeshift bulletproof vests. The remaining survivors, including the young Alexei and his sisters, were then bayoneted and shot at close range. The bodies were then transported to a remote forest, where they were dismembered, doused with sulfuric acid, and buried in a shallow grave, in a desperate attempt to conceal the crime and prevent any veneration of the imperial family. For decades, the fate of the Romanovs remained a subject of intense speculation and conspiracy theories, particularly regarding the survival of Anastasia. However, in 1979, a mass grave was discovered near Ekaterinburg, and in 1991, the remains were exhumed. Through extensive forensic analysis and DNA testing, the identities of Nicholas, Alexandra, and 3 of their daughters were confirmed. The remains of Alexei and one of his sisters were finally discovered in a separate grave in 2007, bringing a definitive end to the mystery and confirming the tragic fate of the entire imperial family. Their story serves as a stark reminder of the brutal consequences of political revolution and the enduring power of historical truth.